Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum everyone. Today the topic of discussion is human philosophy. So let us discuss some bullet points that might come in our MCQs. So first of all, the number of muscles in human body are 639. The number of kidneys, they are 2. The number of ribs are 12. Actually they are 24, but when we will talk about pairs, then we will say that there are 12 pairs of ribs. The number of milk teeth in human body are 20. The number of heart chamber are 4. There are actually 4 chambers in the heart. Then we have the largest artery, which is known as aorta. The normal blood pressure is 120 by 80 millimeter Hg. Millimeter Hg is a unit of pressure like ATM or torr, and 120 is the highest blood pressure in normal situation, and 80 is the lowest blood pressure in normal situation. Then pH of blood is 7.4. It is a little or a slight towards the basic. Okay, so we do not have a neutral pH of blood, that is 7, but we have a slightly basic pH of blood, that is 7.4. The number of vertebrae in spine or vertebral column are 33. These are actually the total number of vertebrae in spine. Now we'll discuss about the number of vertebrae in the neck portion. These are 7. So we have 7 vertebrae in our neck region, or we can say on the upper side of the vertebral column. The number of bones in the middle ear, they are 6. The number of bones in our face, they are 14. There are some large bones and the small bones in our face. Similar is the case of skull. There are some very large bones in the skull and there are some small bones in the skull, but they are not in the form of rod, but there are some slight flat type bones and also thin bones, which are about 22. Then number of bones in the chest, they are 25. Number of bones in the arm are 6. So here we are talking about number of bones in the arm, that is 6, and number of muscles in the human arm, they are 72. So muscles are different structure and bones are a different structure. So number of muscles are 72 and number of bones are 6. Number of pumps in human heart are 2, and the largest organ in the human body, it is the skin that is spread throughout the human body. Then the largest gland in human beings is liver, and the biggest female cell is ovum, or we can say ova. Okay, ovum is a singular structure, and this cell, this biggest cell ovum is only present in females, okay, not in the male. Then we have the smallest cell which is present in males, it is sperm. The smallest bone, that is stapes or stapes, some people call it stapes or it is stapes, and it is present in human ear, and it is the smallest bone, and it is present in the middle region of the ear, middle, also known as the middle ear. So stapes is the smallest bone which is present in the middle ear of the human body. And the first transplanted organ in human body is heart. The average length of small intestine is 7 meter, and the average length of large intestine is 1.5 meter. You must remember this point, that the length of the large intestine is small, that is 1.5 meter. However, the length of the small intestine is large, that is 7 meters. Okay, they are given the names of small and large intestine only on the basis of their widths, not on the basis of their lengths. The average weight of a newborn baby is 2.6 kg. It is an average weight, not an exact weight. And the pulse rate in 1 minute is 72 times. Remember this, that this pulse rate is at the time of rest. and the rest condition means that when the body is not in the situation of stress, depression, or when the body is not doing any kind of physical activity, that kind of situation is known as rest situation. Rest situation doesn't always mean the sleeping position. Okay, so the pulse rate in the 1 minute is 72 times. And remember that during any kind of physical activity or during any kind of hard emotions like outrage or anger, the pulse rate increases. However, during other kind of situations like deep depression or in the sleeping position, the pulse rate might decrease. Okay, the normal blood temperature, body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, which becomes equal to 98.4 Fahrenheit. I have given you both the calculations because sometimes in the MCQs they ask about the Celsius scale, and sometimes they give us the Fahrenheit scale. So you must consider this point while solving your MCQ. Use that in which type of um, unit you are asked, whether it is a Celsius scale or whether it is a Fahrenheit scale. Okay, now the average blood volume is 4 to 5 liters. In some texts it is also from 3.5 to 5 liters. Okay, the lifespan of RBCs are basically red blood cells which are present in the blood, and they carry oxygen from one part of the body to another part of the body, and they are anucleated, mean that they are non-nucleated, they do not contain any nucleus. However, this is the case for the mature red blood cells which are present in the blood. However, the immature red blood cells which are newly formed or newly born, they have nucleus. So we are talking about the lifespan of those cells which have entered into the bloodstream, and their average lifespan is 120 days. And again, you might be asked in the form of weeks, or you might be asked in the form of months. So in months, generally in the months and in the days you are asked. So it takes about 4 months for a red blood cell to die, or you can say 120 days. Now, alongside the RBCs, the question about the WBCs, that are the white blood cells, it is also asked. So it takes about 13 to 20 days. So let me give you some information, a brief introduction about the white blood cells. White blood cells are also present in the blood, and these cells act as the army for the body. They protect the body against the intruders, or we can say against the pathogens or the external factors or pollutants, etc., which might harm the body in one or another way. Now let us move towards the next one liner, that is that the time span for a pregnancy is 40 weeks or 280 days or 9 months. The number of bones in human foot are 33. The number of bones in each wrist, they are 8. The number of bones in human hand, they are 27. The largest endocrine gland is thyroid gland. The largest lymphatic organ is spleen. Let me give you some points about the endocrine gland. These actually are the glands or the portions of the body which produce some chemical secretions which might travel to certain parts of the body and perform their functions there, or they may remain within that same area from which they are produced and perform different type of actions. So the largest endocrine gland is thyroid gland. There are some also other glands known as the pituitary gland, etc., which act as endocrine system of the body. Now let us move towards the next point. The largest lymphatic organ is spleen. The largest part of the brain, that is the cerebrum. The largest and the strongest bone, that is femur. The smallest bone, that is stapedius, which is known as also known as stapes, and it is present in the middle ear. The number of chromosomes in human body, there are 46. When we consider the total number of chromosomes, there are 46. However, they are present in the form of pairs, so 46 becomes equal to 23 pairs in normal situations. However, the number of chromosomes may increase or decrease, but these are because of the errors during the separation of the chromosomes during the process of meiosis. which is actually a cell division. Okay, the number of bones in a newborn baby, they are 306. The viscosity of blood is 4.5 to 5.5. The universal donor blood group is O, and the universal recipient blood group is AB. The largest WBC is monocyte. The word CYTE, cyte, means cell, and the smallest white blood cell is lymphocyte. The increased RBC count is called polycythemia, which is actually a disease when the RBC's level increases from a certain point within the human body. The blood bank in body is known as spleen. The non-nucleated blood cells are called RBCs. The RBCs are produced in bone marrow. The normal blood cholesterol level is 250 mg. The fluid portion of the blood is plasma. Actually, the blood consists of some kind of cells, some kind of salts, some kind of minerals, etc. And all of them are present in a fluid material, and that fluid material is known as plasma, which contains a large amount of water and a small amount of cells, similarly small amount of dissolved minerals, salts, etc. The normal blood sugar is 100 mg. And the last point, that is the river of life, is called blood.